South Africa, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Cars. We're back in Sandton at LMPF. I'm your host, Varishka Singh, otherwise known as Not a Car Spotter. In a few moments, we'll be sitting down with my next guest, whose name is Tshepo and goes by the name of BethaCars on Instagram. Hello, Sypho.
Hi, Varishka.
How are you doing this evening?
Doing pretty well, thank you. For yourself?
I'm good, thank you for asking. So I have a few questions for you.
Right, great.
Are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Perfect. So, where does your love for cars stem from?
I would have to honestly say my grandfather. He actually used to work for a car rental agency. So I know how does that fall into loving cars when the only thing he used to drive was just a Toyota Corolla most of the time. But he used to bring home car magazines, and he'd bring them home, just bucket loads of them, and I would just eat them up. I wouldn't even bother about watching TV, just literally look at car magazines, read, draw them, and I just got obsessed. So I think that's where my passion for cars actually started.
That's amazing. I think it's definitely genetic as well.
It is.
So, would you say that the place that you're from has an influence on why you love cars?
Oh, well, that's a good question, actually. I would have to say yes. I did not actually grow up very privileged. I grew up in the township, and when I saw all these cars in those magazines that I used to read a lot, it would be like a whole different world, and I really wanted to get into that world. So the hunger and drive for the fact that I could not see them every single day, it just pushed me to persevere, and yeah, I'm happy with the way things turned out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that.
No, my pleasure.
So, who are some of your icons and why?
Well, other than my grandfather, of course, it would definitely have to be Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the orangutan, as he's known as. I think he's definitely one of the key influences to where my passion for cars actually came from. And when I just started watching Top Gear, it was like insane. And the fact that a person could be so intoxicated by cars just, helped me also pursue a career in the automotive world. So definitely one of my icons, I would have to say. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. So what other interests do you have besides cars?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough one because our lives revolve around cars. It's a bizarre question for us.
I mean, I literally go to sleep dreaming about cars sometimes. It boggles me.
Yeah, I can relate.
But I think, what was the question again? Just repeat it for me.
What other interests do you have besides cars?
You see, I'm thinking about cars as we are now. I think it would definitely have to be playing music. So I grew up in church as well, and I grew up loving church as well because I always thought that music is such an emotional thing where one can actually express themselves, whether you're happy or sad. Just think about music. And yeah, I just started learning how to play an instrument, and from then just continued. So when there is no cause to be looking at, I'll just go to my guitar.
So cars and music.
Cars and music.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a powerful combination.
All right, so are you ready to talk about classic cars?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Go for it.
All right, so between the Aston Martin DB5 or the Jaguar E-Type, which one are you picking and why?
Ooh, now that's a very tough question. I mean, the E-Type is what I'm leaning towards mostly. I think for the fact that it was rated one of the most beautiful cars to look at in 1961 when it actually came out. And for the fact that it cost less than your relevant supercar, sports car at the time. I mean, there was the 250 Berlinetta that Ferrari came out with, and the E-Type was so much less expensive than the Ferrari, and it was quicker. It was quicker. It was actually extremely intoxicating. I mean, celebrities wanted it, but for me, it was just the way that car looked. And it sounded really good as well. I mean, that 3.8 straight six still rings in my mind. You know, so yeah, definitely the E-Type.
And I mean, even with the DB5, it was actually featured in the James Bond movie Goldfinger in 1964.
Just, you know, but who doesn't love an Aston? I mean, when you think Aston, you think James Bond.
So both are, I think, within their own leagues.
I mean, we wouldn't have the type of supercars that we have now without those two. I definitely think that they're the pinnacle that what started the trend of having ultimate supercars nowadays.
Let's talk modern classic cars.
Okay.
So the options I have for you are between the 1972 Alfa Romeo Giulia GTV
Ooh.
or the 1992 Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Ti. Which one are you taking and why?
Oh, it's quite a difficult one. I mean, on the one hand, both Alphas were made during the time where Alfa had a really good racing career. I mean, they won in 1968, 67 as well. So it would have to be the GTV because it was made as just right after as Alfa started actually winning in the rally championship, and the way that car just looked, it looked like a fun car. It just would not would not play around, you know. So I think it would definitely have to be the Alfa GTV.
All right, perfect. So let's talk modern electric. So how do you feel about the Mercedes-Benz Vision EQXX?
I think when I saw the unveiling of the EQXX, I was caught off guard because I mean, it was so different to what Mercedes-Benz usually made with the EQS as well, and the car itself it's a statement, and for me it resembles a long tail because the back end exudes the longevity of the car itself. So I would have to definitely say I'm happy about it. My favorite characteristic about the car would definitely be the infotainment system. I'm a big tech guy. I love the technological advancements that cars have actually accumulated. So that 8K infotainment system just looks like you could just dive inside of it. And you know, the fact that it's not a performance electric car, it's more based on, you know, long distance cruising. And the car as well, it has a rear diffuser, so that the rear diffuser just pulls out like it's something out of a James Bond movie. So I think it's a bit chintzy, you know. So, but I like those sort of things on cars.
It's what I call the UDO, unidentified driving object. Because when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, what is this? I haven't seen something like this before.
Yeah, it looks like a spaceship with wheels.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So now I have a quiz lined up for you.
Yeah, I'm not very good at taking quizzes.
No, I'm sure you're going to do fine. You're going to do fine. All right. So let's start with the first one. What is the parent company for Chevrolet?
Oh.
Is it A, Ford Motor Company? Is it B, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles? Or is it C, General Motors?
General Motors.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. The next question is, when was the first electric car presented at the International Electric Congress? Was it A, 1881, B, 1902, or C, 1915?
Well, if you're talking about the first electric car, I remember the first one was one that looked like a bike, like a tricycle.
If I'm not mistaken, his name is Gustav.
Yeah, Gustav. It would definitely have to be, my guess, I'm guessing now. I think 1980. Wait, what?
1881.
1881 or
Yes.
what else?
1902
Yeah.
or 1915?
Well, see, I told you I was pretty bad at this. I'll go with 1981. Seems a bit old.
Well, the correct answer is 1881.
Ah.
Well, all right. The next question is, when was the first panhard car designed? Was it A, 1890, B, 1894, or C, 1986?
No, definitely 1986.
Okay, that is incorrect.
Wow, my definite. Wow, I'm not living up to being a car enthusiast at all.
It's fine. The correct answer is 1890. All right. So, on to the next one. We've got, what is the purpose of the dual clutch transmission? Is it A, to enable two drivers to drive at the same time? B, to act as backup if one clutch fails? C, to pre-select gears before they are changed?
Well, it's definitely not the first one. It's to pre-select gears. I feel like I have to
So
review
C
myself.
is correct.
Thank you. Something.
What is the oldest Chevrolet model manufactured?
Oof.
Is it A, the Cruze, B, the Tahoe, or C, the Suburban?
Tahoe. Suburban.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Redeeming myself.
All right. When was the Corvette introduced? Is it A, 1954, B, 1953, or C, 1955?
1953.
That is correct.
Oh, I feel like I need a high five.
Well
for that.
done. And the last question for the quiz is, when was the V8 introduced? Was it A, 1920, B, 1918, or C, 1955?
Can you please repeat those options again?
All right, we've got A, 1920,
Yeah.
B, 1918, and C, 1955.
I think it's 1918.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I believe it was the Chevrolet D series at
Yes.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm mistaken. They'll quote me on that.
I'll get back to you. And that is all your questions answered.
Wow. Oh, I paused. Did I pause? I think I
Yes,
paused.
you did pretty well, considering.
Considering.
Tshepo, thank you so much for being on the show today. And thank you so much for sitting down with us and telling us more about what you do.
Thank you so much for having me, Varishka. Have a lovely day.